Hi, Susan.
Hello.
How are you? You at the restaurant? Okay. You at the restaurant, Susan, or where are you?
Yep.
Okay. Great.
Hi, Raquel.
Hey, Susan. How are you?
Well,
So the link in my Gmail did not work, but the one in my BYU email did.
oh, the link in the Google community one didn't work.
Yeah, it just sent me to my own, and it didn't invite me to our Hangout, this Hangout.
Strange. The one I just barely sent then, huh?
The one that you just sent, that's how I got in.
Yeah. The older, I don't know what it is about the older, the one, when you try to send it early, it doesn't, it's not very intuitive. It doesn't, other teachers have been having the same problem. You almost have to do a new link right when you're having the meeting to be able to have everybody attend. I know there's a better way to do it. I just need to figure it out.
Ask Raquel, I can never figure it out. Every I have four a week, and I can't figure it out.
Yeah, I could probably get my 10-year-old in here and she'd figure it, or he'd figure it out in 5 seconds. But
Right.
it is. So how we all doing?
I think Susan had the same problem as me. We had, well, Eamon had to, like, we had a hard time trying to find an article, like in the Wall Street Journal this week.
Okay.
We just couldn't know how to find that. Like, they wanted to ask for the example. I found it later, but I just couldn't find it, like, before. But it was hard to find.
Yeah, it's not always right on point, right? So
yeah, I hope I got an article from 2015. I know, like, early, like, now up to date, but that's the earliest I found. Sorry.
okay, that's fine. That's use your best judgment on that. How about you, Monique? Did you get your sound going?
I just now jumped in. Yes.
Okay. Great, and Susan's at the restaurant, so making us all hungry.
Well, right now here in Brazil it's 9 p.m. So I had dinner already. It's 9 p.m.
Oh, we do this at the weirdest time. I mean, for time that for you is difficult, and then Maxie Cutler in Hawaii says, this is too early. So it's tough.
Yeah.
We'll have to do one earlier in the day for you then, Raquel.
No, it's fine. My kids are in bed this time, so it's a good time for me. I have, like, Word Foundation class that's like 1:30 a.m.
Oh my gosh.
Terrible. I'm sorry to hear that. How did the substance of the lessons go this week with like the attorney-client relationship and privilege and stuff? Any concerns or questions around that?
No.
No.
Pretty straightforward.
I'm liking the reading this week.
I was going to say, I guess we'll see, but it seems like it.
Yeah.
Well, as usual, I'm going to be as lenient as I can to try to help you along, as long as you're making good arguments and doing the reading, and then I can see that you've tried to reason it through as to why you think a certain exam question is the way it is or not. What about group dynamics? Is everybody still meeting with their groups? Do you hate each other yet?
I really like our group. We actually were meeting in just a little bit. I've got to jump out early today. But yeah, I like our group. We get along well. And so
Okay, good.
we meet regularly. And
Yeah, I like my group as well. I'm in Susan's group and Emma. They are always on time and we get along very well.
Oh, good. Good. That's good. And so you're all doing really well. I mean, we're kind of on the downhill slide now, so not too much left. Anybody going anywhere interesting for Thanksgiving? I guess Raquel, that's not as much for you, but gonna dress up into something interesting next Carnival in February.
Oh, just good to stay home with my kids. It's not good to go to watch TV or, go out when it's Carnival in Brazil.
Yeah. I remember in my mission in Italy, they made a lot out of Carnival, which was kind of fun.
Well, I think back in the days, like a few years ago, like maybe 20 years or more ago, people used to be dressed, So, yeah, it's not fun at all.
my cousins still do that in Germany.
Oh, yeah?
They dress for Carnival.
Mm-hmm. I don't like Carnival at all. Well, next year I'm moving back to the US, so I'm not gonna be seeing Carnival so soon. I'm gonna be be moving to Seattle.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
My he works for Amazon, so that's why you're moving there.
Great.
Yep, I'm excited.
Very nice.
Hey, Brother Christensen, what do you think about the elections? It's good for the business in the US?
That's a hot topic here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a tough one. I mean, I've heard it said, which one do you vote for, the dirty old man or the criminal? And, I don't know. I think Hillary had a better worldwide appeal and approach. I think it'd be better I think a lot of countries are worried about what's going to happen. Trump, it's always, I've always been tempted to vote for business people like Perot or Mitt Romney, but Trump was pretty far over the line for me, I think, in a lot of ways. Yeah. It was hard to go there. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, Susan says, religion and politics, two taboo subjects in business law class.
I was surprised that Utah, Trump won, in Utah. I was surprised.
Yeah, I think the feeling is generally that Republicans believe in more, this is hard to say, but, free agency, let's help the poor, not through government programs and taxation, but rather through freedom of choice. They focus more on the collective good. So a lot of times the church, who had at one time the symbol of a beehive, bees working together, is more of a Republican ideal, according to whoever defines it as being, let's look for laws that are more for the collective good, rather than the Democrats that kind of look for individuality. And if you're a gay person that likes to walk naked down the street, you should have that right. And Republicans, I think the church is often tended towards Republicans, but then you get Donald Trump coming along, the way he's treated other races, people, and women. It was hard for the church, I think, in some ways to know what to do there.
Yeah, they're making jokes here in Brazil. There's a lot of photos with jokes about Trump being elected. They say, there's one that says, "Hey, run get your visa so you can go to the US before they make the switch." And well, Susan said something fun Well, I don't know, but Susan said that she likes Hillary. No, he's such a better choice than Hillary. I just don't like him because the way he talks about women. I just don't know, like he talks about, he doesn't have like a family as priority, I think.
All right, I think you're right. I'm listening to what you say. I've just got a 4-year-old that's trying to get me to play baseball with her. So.
No, it's fine. I have a 4-year-old as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough. Yeah, the jokes are going nuts, aren't they? The cartoons and the things. I think a lot of people that have adopted, children from the Middle East or Africa are worried about what he could say. But I don't know. My suspicion is he's going to be told pretty quick. He needed to take a certain position to get the votes, but I think he's going to. My hope is that he moderates a little bit now that he's won.
I heard that people are protesting, like are going out in the streets in the U.S. against Trump.
There's some of that.
Yeah.
I think there would have been some with Hillary. Sorry, Monique, go ahead.
What do you mean by that? Protecting, what do you mean?
No, not protecting, protesting.
Oh, protesting. Yeah. Here in Oakland, that's been big.
Really?
A lot of looting and fires and destruction.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. And now you've got a really Republican Senate and House. So a lot of concern is that he'll just repeal. He'll be able to get the votes to repeal Obamacare, which a lot of poor people really hate because it adds $1,800 a year to their tax bill. It doesn't really provide. I mean, they get coverage, but now they've got another problem, which is how do you take the $15,000 you earn in a year and pay another $1,800 towards healthcare? So,
yeah, that's another issue.
Yeah, a lot of them were just rolling the dice, and if they had a problem, they'd go to the emergency room, and people would have mercy on them, and then the rest of us would pay in higher latex glove costs for their emergency room. But that's kind of the way the church would see it: is let's be kind to the poor and figure out ways to help them individually and give us that choice rather than forcing a agency or something to do it that we all pay to and that's inefficient and doesn't work anyway. So the tricky issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw, we stopped doing those lawyer jokes, but I saw one today that was, what do you call a lawyer with an IQ of 100? A judge. What do you call a lawyer with an IQ of 50? A senator. What do you call a lawyer with an IQ of 5? The Clintons. And it's so much, it's polarized here. Everything, it's just so polarized right now.
Yeah.
Sounds like Maxie's weighing in from Hawaii, and she says, I hope he disbands Obamacare. It's really affected a lot of people in negative ways. I mean, it's a good idea, but when you can't pay for it, and you can't pay for it, then it's making
like many things, it needs to be reformed. We need to reform it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm aware of people's schedules. I'm going to take a little girl out and play and hit the ball with her. Are there any other questions? Maxie, I think we're going to talk tomorrow.
Yes, we will.
Okay, good. Thanks for giving me that chance to talk to you. And,
yeah, I got to log in. So I just wanted to make a point about the Obamacare. It's because my mother couldn't prove continuous coverage when my dad retired from Boeing and she moved to Hawaii. Today, years later, she is still paying the penalty per month on her healthcare insurance. And I tried to get it off. I mean, how long is she going to be paying this penalty every month? She's paying $14 every
Oh,
month because of Obamacare. And even when I brought in all the documents showing that, because my mother never throws away anything. So I showed continuous under the Blue Shield program and from Washington State to Hawaii. And today they still charge her the penalty because of the Obamacare. I think that's wrong. My mother is 80 years old. She should not be paying that penalty. I think the penalty, like they said, it needs to be reformed.
mm,
I
yeah.
think he can do something better with this program, or even hopefully we're hoping he brings in something better as a healthcare. He's in that position now, and he's got all the house and everybody behind him.
Yeah.
I think some things will change.
Hopefully.
Yeah, it's crazy, the cost for Obamacare. I'm grateful my husband has insurance.
Yeah.
Because I just got a thing from my employer that said I have to prove that I have his insurance. Otherwise, they were going to start charging me over $800 a month.
Yep,
Oh,
that's the penalty they're talking about. All
Yeah.
because of Obamacare.
Yeah,
So
it's horrific.
not to open a can of worms, but my husband says it's Illuminati, what do you call it? Foundation. This whole thing was because of that. And I'm going, what are you talking about, the Illuminatis? How does that fit into Obamacare? So he started talking about all the propaganda that they have created to, like greed, to create these programs that will fill the pockets of the rich. And this care package does not sit well with me ever since day one it became available.
No.
It does not sit right. So something's wrong with this program.
yeah.
Agreed.
It's always nice to talk about social programs, but
Yeah.
if you can't pay for them, somebody's going to pay, and
Somebody's actually, yeah. But I'm sorry, I came in late to the group. We have Wi-Fi issues in the storage room. That's why I got only my picture up. It's a mess in here.
that's fine. Yeah, we'll have to see what happens, but I'm looking for change. I hope Trump can keep the market under control by making calming statements like he made the other night.
Yeah, I
thought
that was a big statement. It was full of grace. I was still online around 12:30, and I go, I want to see who won the race. So when Michigan came in with the last of the electoral votes, those are the sway votes, I go, oh my gosh, he just made it.
Yeah.
So, and then I stayed up to listen to his speech, and he presented his entire family, or most of his family.
And then some.
I thought that was great. And you know what was surprising? I thought Hillary was going to take Florida, and when she didn't take Florida, I go, oh, gee.
That was the difference. Yeah, Florida seems to be such a swing.
She campaigned really hard in Florida, and then, of course, Texas followed Trump.
Yeah.
The one that amazed me for some reason was that she didn't even take her home state.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was shocking. Usually they take their home state.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of telling, wasn't it? And I guess Trump didn't take New York, but that's different because she's been serving as senator there for so long.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see what he does with immigration also. I know that was one of his platform speech.
Yeah.
That is a really hot, I work for the public schools, and that is a hot topic in our schools.
Yeah.
Because we live in the Central Valley in California, and we've got a lot of migrant workers. And the kids are coming to school already saying, he's going to send us home, and he's going to send my daddy home, and I'm going to have to go with him, or I'm going to have to stay here. And
sad.
That's been a real tender subject at school.
Yeah.
And I can see the flip side of it, that because of all the jobs are being resourced out to low paying jobs, then the some of the American people don't have those type of jobs. And I can see the flip side. He's all American, but how much of all American is he willing to sacrifice? I mean, immigrants, they're Americans too. They have their green card. They work hard for it.
Yeah.
They produce and they supply the
Yeah, not all of them
economy.
have green cards though.
Yeah, that
I would say most of the kids at our school, their parents do not.
Yeah, and when they don't, then the thought was as well, they're not getting, they're not paying into Social Security, they're not paying their taxes, and so we're basically again floating them. The landscapers around here in Arizona, they all are, it's not to be stereotypical, but they're all Latino because they're very good with horticulture.
Yeah.
And they don't pay taxes. I mean, I've told them I'm going to have to make some calls to the IRS to make sure you're paying your taxes. What they told me was a lot of the companies now around here are hiring them, but are saying you have to put in a number as your Social Security number, a number, any number. And they're not supposed to do that, obviously.
Wow.
I mean, these people
Isn't
should
that
be
fraud?
paying it's fraud, but these people should be paying Social Security too. So it's fraud that they don't have one. And so it's kind of like a double fraud, because what companies are saying is at least you're paying into something and you'll never get it back. So it'll go into the pool for the rest of us.
That's an interesting perspective.
It's like in this case, a lot of people are saying two wrongs make a right, which is, they don't have a Social Security number, so write one in, and let's just at least so they're paying something for the rest of us that are paying into it that are legal. And I don't know, how many illegalities you're going to have till you have something that's.
Gee whiz.
And can you imagine in the city of Enos, they've never had this type of issue?
Yeah, how did that happen with
Really?
Enoch being able to raise it up into the heavens?
Yeah.
They wouldn't have they wouldn't have violence. Everybody helped each other, so there was no need for institution or government.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What an awesome time to live in.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They figured it out. That's why, usually I tend towards Republican just because I believe that they're about choice and choosing that lifestyle, choose to help the panhandlers, choose to help people struggling, don't be forced to. But the Democrats, they're very, it's very smart for them to say, look, it ain't happening. We got more homeless than ever. So at least we've got programs that are funded by the rich middle class now, but that will help. So be interesting to see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, good. Looks like we have Allison too, who joined. Allison, hi. We're just we're talking politics, which Susan warned us. No politics, no religion. You have to talk about religion.
Doing this.
Yeah.
I'm in a public place today, so I'm going to stay on mute so it's not background noise.
Okay. So really the question is, it looks like Susan said, I hope they don't get a real one and ruin someone's life with having their Social Security number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
That's true. Taking somebody's identity would be horrific. But I guess that's the next step in this evolution when they realize getting older, you can't do horticulture when in your 70s. At least not as easily.
Brother Christensen, I need to get going to another class meeting.
Yep. Looks like it's 4:30 our Mountain Time. So why don't we convene now then? And if anybody has any questions, just send me an email, okay?
Okay.
But you're all my stalwarts. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.